ambiguous term, all right? Because we believe God existed before the creation, correct?
Yeah.
So when God created the creation, either He created the creation within Himself or outside Him. Which one is it?
So the classical theists say He created it from nothing. He created the
No, I'm not talking about from. When God created the creation, was it within Himself or outside Himself?
But here's the thing, if God has no place, inside, outside, like it doesn't really. There's no meaning. There's no meaning to it.
There is God exists before the creation, correct?
Yes.
So now rationality, God exists and there's nothing beside God. God created the creation. Either it's going to be inside Himself or outside Him. There's no other. There's no third option.
It's like asking where the edge of the earth is, right?
No.
The question, like is it over here or is it over there?
No. Okay. It's a logical, rational. You cannot escape it.
Yeah,
it's irrational.
Then how do you?
God existed all the time, has no beginning, correct?
Yes, but just saying God exists doesn't mean God exists in a place. That's just two different things. So saying God exists.
Ask about place or not.
But then you ask it, is He inside Him or outside Him?
Yeah. So God will create the creation.
So when you ask that question, did God create the creation inside Himself or outside Himself? You then presuppose God exists in some type of place.
That doesn't exist.
Yes, but that doesn't indicate it's in a physical place.
Okay. Even this term physical, you see, this is a poison philosophy. You know, everyone here I ask him, because they haven't studied philosophy, naturally, the way God create us, they say, yes, God existed, we have God. Because remember, I said to you, differentiate between conceptual belief of God, which only exists in your mind, does not exist in reality, and that's the majority of the belief of the philosophers, Muslims or Christian or Jewish. There you have God that only exists in their mind, does not exist in reality. Because if does God exist independently?
God exists, yes.
Independently, all right? And He has essence.
Yes.
Okay, He has the essence. So therefore, God has the essence. So when God's going to create another creation, that creation doesn't exist outside Him or inside Him, because there's only God now.
But again, you're presupposing God exists in a place. But it's like me asking you, which swimming pool did you go to?
Which?
It's like me asking you, which swimming pool did you go to this morning?
Swimming pool, yes.
No, hold on. If I ask you right now, which swimming pool did you go to this morning? You would say that question presupposes I went to a swimming pool, but I never went to a swimming pool. Same here. Same here. But there's an assumption in your question.
Did God create the creation?
Yes, but that's not required.
I'm asking you, did God create the creation?
Yes, but hold on. Now tell me. God creating the creation. Does that necessitate God must exist in a place to create the creation?
You see, you focus on a place.
But you're focusing on outside and inside, so I have to focus on place.
Because God exists, okay?
Yes.
Okay, God exists. There's nothing beside God.
Yeah.
God created the creation, all right? Was it where?
So the classical theists, right? They all say God created from nothing, okay?
No. You're not answering my question. You answered a question I never asked. I'm not asking you, where did God create the creation from? I'm asking you, imagine, give you an example. Okay, nothing exists except me. If God is going to create something, if something exists except me, either I'm going to create it in me, because there's nothing there. There's nothing there beside me, correct? Either I'm going to create it inside me or outside me. And by the way, this is the argument of Imam Ahmed mentioned it, and Ibn al-Qayyim mentioned it. Okay, you can go back to it. This is the problem and the poison of philosophy. You start going, what you do in our respect, you become sophistry.
Okay, you can say that.
You know it's sophistry.
You can have that view. Have that view.
It's sophistry.
Yes, I'm just speaking nonsense, right? Have that view. Have that view. But understand, many Ash'ari Muslim theologians, the exact same position. That's your view. You can have that view. You can have that view.
This is the view of the uqala. People with sound intellect.
Bro, look, understand, one Muslim tells you something, other Muslim scholars tell me another thing.
No.
I have to go back to what seems most like logical to me, right? It seems for a being that exists before space and time, talking about this being as if it had a place, as if it had out and outside and inside, doesn't seem to me rationally warranted.
Where he created the creation?
Sorry?
Where he created the creation? The creation, does the creation exist?
The creation does exist.
Does God exist?
Yes.
Does the creation exist inside him or outside him?
But again, that presupposes God has a place.
Brother, if God exists, why are you playing around? If God exists, he's a sophistry. There is that. This necessitates. Look. If there's nothing exists except me, if there's nothing exists except me,
but that's you.
Case, I can't prove that one.
Okay.
I can't prove that.
You believe in God?
Yes.
Okay. And now, okay, no problem. You know what? Forget all of this. If God doesn't have place according to your Bible.
Just rationally. Like,
No, rationally.
Put the scriptures aside.
The term place is ambiguous. If you mean a physical place which is created, yes, I agree with you.
Okay.
But if you mean God separate from this creation, then it has to be somewhere.
Okay.
You call it place or not, it's up to you.
So we've agreed God does not exist in a physical place. Therefore, that's what he said. That's what he said. Physical place.
Created.
Right.
No, wait. I don't believe God is contained by physical place.
Good.
Okay.
We both agree.
However, in the Bible and in the Quranic teaching, not according to Aristotle, Plato, according to Moses and Jesus, according to the Bible, Jesus is standing next to God, and God is sitting on the front. Okay.
This is a vision.
Is it the front? No, it's not vision. That's reality. That's reality. On the day of judgment, God will be sitting on the throne. Yeah. Okay. The throne is inside God or outside God?
Well, you see, I'm not looked at these passages, right?
The Bible, I can show you.
Okay.
That's why you're following a philosopher, you're not following Jesus.
Okay, first of all,
Genesis.
It's Corinthians.
Okay.
It's not philosophy, it comes from Genesis. Because in Genesis it says man was made in the image of God, there's an inherent mystery within Jewish and Christian theology in that the man's making himself a man's... Sorry, I don't want to be filmed.
I don't want to be filmed.
But let's agree. We both agree God does not exist in a physical place. So if we both agree, then there's no point
contained by a physical place.
Then there is no.
However, I believe.
Let me finish.
Okay, sorry.
So there's no point in talking about a physical outside and an inside. Because when you say outside and inside, I only know that to mean physically. I don't have no concept.
Even the term physical, what do you mean by that?
No, what has being? What has being? Matter. What has matter?
Okay.
What has matter? So here's the point. If the only concept of outside and inside I have in my head is that of physical, right?
Say again?
The only concept of outside and inside I have in my head is that of physical, right?
Okay, it's your problem. Your mind's problem.
No. I know.
Reality.
Yeah. Fine.
It's a problem with your mind.
But here's the thing. We can.
Outcome of being poisoned.
No problem. We can only know reality through. I only have my mind. Do you understand?
You
understand? I don't have your mind. I don't have his mind. I only have my mind.
Sound reasoning, which in
this is sound reasoning. If God does not exist in a physical place, how can you speak of an outside? How can you speak of an outside and inside when the only concept of outside and inside I have are physical?
Okay, what do you mean by physical place?
Something that has matter. Something that has like atoms. Made out of atoms.
That's have matter, yeah? Something has a matter, okay?
Yeah.
So matter is created, of course.
Yes.
So God's outside the matter, okay? God is not created, okay? That's what I said to you. If God exists independently,
yeah.
God exists independently, correct?
Yeah.
But it's not really...
Did he create the creation?
Yes.
Okay. Is his creation was inside God or outside God? Oh, no. That's why. If there is God independently exists, he has own essence, yes? Is a logical, rational outcome. You cannot turn away from it. When he create the creation, not from where? When he create the creation, did he create the creation outside him, inside him, because he exists independently, okay? Or he's above the creation, or the creation is above him, or because he created in reality, correct? Tell me.
So if you mean outside in the thing that if you mean outside by the creation, the creation is distinct from God.
Yes.
And that says yes.
That's it.
And that says,
Okay.
but remember, hold on. I understand. Primarily, outside means place.
No. This again, this is the problem of being poisoned with philosophy. Because philosophy tries to dictate to us. For example,
therefore you mean that?
Yeah. If you say this, it has to be this.
Most likely mean that. Most likely mean that.
If something moves, it must have a body. Okay? This is a philosophical conclusion. We're talking about God. We're not talking about this. Again, that's why I said to you, you have differentiate between followers of Jesus and Moses and followers of philosophers. The Christians now, they don't follow Jesus and Moses anymore. Or they don't even follow Moses. I mean, even Jewish. Even some Muslims. They, when it comes in speaking about God's essence, they speak with the terminology of the philosophers. So God is distinct from his creation. Correct?
Yeah.
So that's it. That's what I say. And therefore, God, that's what we say, God's above the creation, distinct from his creation. So therefore, the creation exists independently and God exists independently.
Okay.
Yeah, you agree? Yeah, that's it. And that's what we say God is, and this is why it goes with the fitrah. Because when we say, no, it's not inside him, not outside him, so that we have to
Physically speaking.
Creation is a physical.
Look, no, hold on. Inside and outside primarily refer to physical reference, yes?
Again, what I say to you, look, out of respect, you have to be careful. When you say physical, I don't care what this philosopher is going to say.
Matter.
No, okay. Is this creation matter?
Yes.
God created it?
Yes.
Is he mixed with it?
No.
It's distinct from it?
Yes.
So it's outside him?
In the sense it's distinct from its being, yes.
If it's distinct, it's outside him?
But to speak of physical, let me finish. But to speak of physical place, it is meaningless to speak of God and the outside and inside creation. But that's what outside and inside mean. Outside and inside refer to places.
Okay.
That's what it primarily means.
Is God distinct from the creation?
Yes.
So it's outside him?
If by being distinct in that sense, yes. That's not the that is not the primary.
So therefore,
that's not the primary meaning of outside. You understand? You understand?
So therefore, God being outside the creation doesn't mean God is in a place which we. So we as a Muslim and the Salafis, that's why Asha'ira, they believe, which you yourself now you start dropping, because when I said to you it's distinct, you said yes, which therefore necessitates outside him. Because it's distinct of something else. Mean is.
Well, hold on. Let me ask you a question. Okay, you could look. God
Words have meaning.
Hey, let me say. To say God is distinct from the universe, that has one unequivocal meaning, right? God is different from the creation. When you say God is outside the creation, you have two possible meanings, all right? Why are you so? You could say God is physically outside, or you could say in your sense God is distinct. Why do you choose to focus on the more ambiguous way of saying it when there's a more unequivocal way of saying it?
No, I'm not.
That is saying God is distinct from the creation. That is one unequivocal meaning. But you argue, is God outside? How is he outside?
No.
These have multiple possible meanings.
I never said how. I never said.
We went through. Is it outside to mean physical, or do you mean it's distinct? We did go through.
Firstly, outside necessitates distinct. Because if something is distinct, if I'm distinct from something else, is it mixed with me or outside me?
Okay, in the sense of being, God. If you mean the sense of being, yes, you could say God is outside.
God is a being.
But God is a being. Yes.
It's outside the creation.
In a secondary sense, yes, but that's not the primary use of the word outside. So why focus? So why would it?
What do you mean by outside?
Primarily, outside refers to places, right?
No, not all the time.
But primarily, almost always.
No.
Almost always.
No. When you talk about creation, therefore, if I'm talking about God, I'm being so clear because the logic dictates here. Look, logic dictates. If God is the only, has no beginning, no end, and there was no creation, so there will be no physical place, which means create. When I say physical, I like to emphasize, create the place, because there was nothing created before. God had no beginning. So therefore, when God created the creation, which is it must have a place. Therefore, when we say God has a place, if you mean God is outside the creation, I said yes, and you agree with me. Separate with creation. Yeah. That's why the Ash'aris, they don't agree with that. The Ash'aris don't say they know he's outside, he's not inside, he's not the right, he's not the left. But even that, that's why Imam Ahmad, rahimahullah, may Allah have mercy upon him, from the Salaf, he came with argument which is a logical, rational to any human being. God, that's why I said to you, I start emphasizing on God exists independently. Because when I speak to Asha'ira, philosophers, Christians, I've noticed when they start speaking about God, they focus more on a conceptual God, which only exists there in their head. Because it doesn't make any sense. Something exists independently and is not separate from another.
I read this hadith in Bukhari. I read this hadith, right, where God, it will be the day of judgment. Yeah. He will first interview the Jews and then the Christians, and they will come to the Muslims, right? Yeah. The righteous and the unrighteous among them, and he will come to them in the picture that is closest to them. There's a hadith like that.
Close to them, no.
Closest. That's what I read in the translation.
The hadith of Surah, no. That's about the hadith of Surah, that on the day of judgment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will appear in one form and will appear in another form. Yes. But that doesn't mean he goes against nature.
That's true.
And again, that's
I understand. So, hold on. My concept of God and your concept of God might be different, okay? But we can't say mine or your concept of God is representative, can totally encapsulate the true nature of God, because one, God is beyond our comprehension, and two, the hadith itself himself says God will come like in the form. God will come in the form closest to us, suggesting we cannot truly conceptualize God if we all have different
I don't
forms.
know if I remember this hadith correctly, but close to us.
Closest to the form we have of him. Closest to the form we have. The exact wording was, I read it in Sahih Bukhari. I can bring it next week.
Translation, maybe it's the wrong translation.
Maybe. But the word was closest to the picture of him in their minds. All right.
No, there's no hadith says close pictures in our mind.
Closest.
Anyway, the point here is, look.
I can show you. I read it a few days ago.
Okay, you can get it, but the translation, I know the hadith of Surah. That Allah will come in one form,
All right.
then He will come in another form as a test. Okay?
Even so.
Okay, so let me explain. Yes, I do agree with you. We do not comprehend everything about God. Likewise, we don't comprehend His true nature. But we understand certain things which God tells us about Himself. There are certain things we understand, like which call universal knowledge, or that which is not by necessity. For example, the Ash'ari, when we speak about God's attributes, they try to negate some of God's attributes, claiming if you do affirm it, you are resembling God to His creation, which is incorrect. Okay? Because, for example, the argument that Ibn Taymiyyah used against them, if you're saying if I affirm the attributes of God for God, therefore I'm resembling to His creation, you are alive. God is alive. Is your life like God's life? No. Okay. Likewise, for every attribute and every name of God, same criteria. You understand? So, for example, like I said to you about when you read about, that's why in the beginning I said, what's your name? I never call your name.
I don't know.
Give me a fake name anyway. I'm not homosexual, by the way.
Okay. My middle name is Hassan, so we'll go with Hassan. Hassan.
You middle name?
Yeah, my name is Hassan. Yeah.
Okay, Hassan, what I would say to you, that's why in the beginning I said to you, when the Christians now, they follow the Christian philosophers. Like you said, some Muslims do as well. If you listen to Bob is not speaking how Jesus spoke about God. He speaks about how some Christian fathers who were heavily influenced by Greek philosophy speak about God. I'm not sure, once I was speaking to a young boy, and he negates every attribute of God.
Like the Jahmiyyah.
Like a Jahmiyyah, understand? Which doesn't make any sense. So the God they believe in doesn't exist in reality. Because anything that exists in reality independently must have attributes. You understand? So that's my argument. But let me bring you back, I think you digressed a lot. The point here is about Christianity, God. It doesn't make any sense, the concept of God.
I mean,
becoming a baby.
The major, I would say, the Christian concept of God primarily is not about the incarnation, about the Trinity. Okay? How there's three distinct persons. But
they are one.
They're still one God.
They are one in what? If they are distinct?
The Christian argument is they're one in essence. They share the same essence, or they share the same self, or...
So for example, Shamsi, Hassan, Jamal, we are distinct people, but we are one essence. Because you have human nature, same thing, exactly, okay?
Yeah.
So now, if Jesus is God by default, God has no beginning, no end. And He has everything perfect, okay? Everything perfect, okay? And God does not submit to no one. You agree? Everything submits to God. The Christian, when they say to us, yes, when Jesus was on the earth, He had to pretend or act like a human being.
Yeah, humble Himself.
Humble Himself, which doesn't make any sense. That's not God's nature. That's human nature, humble Himself. God does not need to humble to no one because He's the greatest. Guess what? In Paul, which is Corinthians, on the day of judgment, everything will submit to Jesus. Then Jesus Himself will submit to the Father.
He'll be subordinate.
Submit. Subjugate.
Yeah.
That is not. So you just told me God does not submit to no one. If Jesus is God, and that is not, and on the day of judgment, not only is human being, on the day of judgment, He's going to submit to the Father. Therefore, they're not same. Jesus is lower than the Father.
I guess like what they would say, the Christian would say is that again, the human, even when He's God, the human nature is still distinct from His divine. They're united in person, but they're distinct in nature.
They say when He returned, they say when He returned, it's not human anymore. He's God.
No, even though He's both human, even when He comes.
Even when He returns.
Yes.
So it's not going to be, always going to be human.
They're always going to be fully human and fully God.
Hang on. They said to me the reason He became human here to communicate with us.
Then
when He went back to the day of judgment.
But look, the other way, He resurrected. He resurrected and humans will also resurrect, and humans resurrect is also part of their human nature.
Okay.
There's also nature that Jesus resurrects as a human as well.
But in the Bible, does not say Jesus' human nature submits to God. He said Jesus himself. So himself as a whole. That includes God's nature according to your belief. And the question also, Jesus as God, is he the Father?
No.
He's not the Father. Jesus as God, does he know the hour?
No.
Huh?
No.
He says no. So he cannot be God.
Yeah, that's a problem. That's a problem.
Yeah. Jesus as God, is Jesus as God? What I've seen in the Bible, Jesus, because God is not God part-time, it's God all the time. Which he should be worshipped alone, should be glorified. In the Bible, it seems like Jesus as God, he's like he took day off to be God. Just Jesus worshiping the Father only the Father, only the Father. He's not even asking his other nature, which is God, to help him. That's why I look at the Islamic teaching, which goes in line with our sound intellect and the natural inclination, which the Creator created us with. That's why the Creator is the most wise. When he created you and I and everyone, he created with us the tools and devices which go in line with his revelation. That's why God is one, is perfect. He has no beginning, no end. Jesus, we love him. He's a mighty messenger. And it's a dirty, not all the French people, but the Olympics, what they did to disrespecting Jesus and his disciples, yeah, we are free from it. And this is a satanic way. And we Muslims would defend Jesus, you know. But clearly, Jesus and all the prophet messengers came to call people to worship one God and to stay away from the Satan, okay? And that is an Islamic teaching. That's why, you know, one of the miracles of Islam, which me myself, I like to use Hassan a lot, one of the so powerful prophecy. You know that the enemies of Islam, okay, they have stronger weapons than the Muslims.
Generally, well, now, yes.
Yeah, the opponents.
In the beginning, yes, and then now, yes.
Now, like for example, when it comes to social media, it's controlled by the, like just what happened recently.
The riot.
It's the riots. Yeah. Social media was utilized by the enemies of Islam. Even the guy who committed the crime, he was a Christian. He had nothing to do with Islam. Yet they were attacking the mosques. So the point here I was going to bring, I want to bring you back to, is there's a verse in the Quran. Allah said, "هو الذي أرسل رسوله بالهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على الدين كله ولو كره الكافرون." It's Allah who sent Prophet Muhammad with the true religion in order to prevail the other religions, even if the disbelievers dislike it. Now, even there is the Islamic opponents, they have stronger weapons, social media and so on. The fast growing, which can cause many barriers to stop people accepting Islam, yet the fastest growing religion in the Western world, specifically, where they say we oppress women, where they say Islam is bad and everything, Islam is spreading. And there was a study carried out about the British woman. They study Islam for 5 years and they accept Islam. That's a powerful prophecy in the Quran.
Okay, it's good for them. But why
should be good for you too? Inshallah, you become
Wallahu
No
a'lam.
comment. No comment.
No comment.
Remember, I'm no comment when it comes to my views, right?
Yeah, no problem. Inshallah, anyway, what I would say to you, look, this is again, even this, what you're doing now, no comments, yeah? I don't want to speak. All of this, it came from who? It came
It comes from, don't you? For example, I know I'm finite. My mind is finite. I don't know everything, okay? So when I'm presented with a variety of views, right, I have to make sure I'm thoroughly well researched in them to start making judgments. Because if I start speaking, I could mislead people. You know, I could spread misinformation. That's why I like to keep things like a conservative. I like to keep things conservative.
I agree, and I respect you for that. But what we're talking about, Hassan, we're talking that which is not by necessity. I never want you to say to you, look, let's talk about the Bible, the manuscript, and so on. No, I'm talking. That's why I said to you, when I speak to the Christians, I will never, generally speaking, to the layman Christians, I don't speak about detailed issues. What I speak about that which is not by necessity, which is the oneness of Allah. The oneness of Allah is clear and pure in everything. The concept of Islam is so clear. There is only one God. Yes, He has attributes, perfect attributes. He sent the prophets and messengers to call people to worship God alone. Okay? That's why when you have experience, and before I want to bring you back to the issue of, I don't want to make no comments. Again, this is the Western Academy is being poisoned by Greek philosophy, which they always, I don't want to, no, you make, Jesus, he never said what you said. I don't want to make comments. No, you have to hide.
Well, after every fatwa you say, Allahu Alam, don't you?
Yeah,
What does that mean?
No doubt.
Why do you say that?
No, but,
You know,
I don't say Allah is one, Allah alim. No. I don't say Allah alim. Here, Allah alim, no doubt, and alim I know as well. I'm not alim, but I know for certainty. Certain things we don't say Allah alim. No. Certain things which there is room for doubt, they will say Allah alim. Understand? But something else, like I don't say Muhammad Rasulullah, Allah alim. What do you mean Allah alim? Is Allah alim? Na'am. Allah told you He's Rasulullah.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So the point here is that you should think about yourself, like I said to you, reflect upon your situation, because like I said to you, I remind you, when you die, none of this Western academic way of, I don't want to take no position, I don't want to say, I either have to know the truth or the falsehood. But do your research, inshallah.
Shamsi, do you want to take part of my survey?
Yeah, give it to me.
Okay. Do you have a pen?
Oh, if you're going to give me the actual paper.
Yeah. I've got loads.
That's barakallah, big sister. Barakallah. I can give you a nice book. Come. Who is do you have them?
Bring the atheism book.
I can give you a nice book.
Yeah.
And I can give it to your sister as well, because you want to help us. I can give it to read as well. It's a nice book that you can read. I mean, you can read it, shows that Islam about. Give two. And we have it, I'm going to show to people, to the Muslims, you can come to our da'wah table in Shepherd's Bush. You can come to our da'wah in Shepherd's Bush because even the Muslims should read it. It's very, very beneficial.
Okay.
Very beneficial. Muslims to read it and to learn from it and to give da'wah. Here, my sister, for you.
Do you need a pen?
I'm going to take it or?
You can just fill it out and then bring it back to me when you can.
I have to fill it. Oh, okay. It's a survey, like survey.
Yeah.
It's a home office now.
But you know home office, are you?
No, I swear.
Sure.
Is it
No,
You're Home 5, are you?
No. It's MA research.
Okay, khalas. I'm not going to come in this week. Probably after 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I'll bring it.
Okay, thank you.
Because Hassan, thank you for talking to take care of yourself.
Big up Shamsi.
Yes, how are you, man?
Not too bad. Not too bad.